I'm about to blow your mind. Mashed potatoes. Whew, mashed potatoes are really annoying to make, but I actually have a recipe that makes it so much easier. Okay, it's Instant Pot mashed potatoes. Bust out your Instant Pot and we're gonna make some mashed potatoes that are foolproof. You can't mess these up. There's no boiling, no overflowing of the water, no draining boiling water. It's simple. And I'm gonna show you how to do it today. Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. Today's recipe is a game changer. You can make these mashed potatoes almost as easy as Instant Pot. I said Instant Pot, I meant instant mashed potatoes. Okay, that's not true. Instant mashed potatoes are crazy, stupid easy. But you finally can have homemade mashed potatoes that will impress everybody, and you just have to set it and walk away. Okay, let's talk about the potatoes. I am using russet potatoes today, but this recipe will actually work with any potatoes. We love doing red potatoes and Yukon Gold potatoes. All three of these potatoes make amazing mashed potatoes, but just your traditional homemade mashed potatoes, we're gonna do russet. I did want to tell you that this full recipe, you can grab it in the link in the description, or you can just go to our free website, eatingonadime.com, and then type in Instant Pot mashed potatoes, or you can go to Google and type in Eating on a Dime Instant Pot mashed potatoes. If you have one of these Instant Pots just laying around, now's the time to try this recipe. This was my second recipe I ever made in the Instant Pot, and I have never looked back. I have never made mashed potatoes any other way. And actually, I talked to some of my friends who are like, you're the reason. The only thing I use my Instant Pot is for mashed potatoes. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, it's a game changer. Whoa, I can't believe back in the day I had to boil them, drain the boiling hot water without burning my hand off. No more. And they're still gonna taste amazing. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is, no more rambling, we got a pill on. Now, you can leave the pills on. I don't like leaving the pills on for russet potatoes, but if I'm doing Yukon Gold, I can leave the pill on. Or red potatoes, you can leave the pill on too. But my personal preference is I don't like the russet peel. Another thing you can do is you could just do half of them and the other half not. Like if you want some peels in your mashed potatoes to make them kind of hearty and chunky, you could peel half and don't peel the other half. That way you get some skins, but not a ton of the skins. But again, for this recipe, we're just going to peel. So first thing I gotta do is peel. Done. Whew. No, I'm kidding. It's not a lot of work. Here's a little tip. Make sure you have more than one peeler because you can get other people involved. My sister came over and helped me. And so I always like to tell a kid to come over and help me. So make sure you have 2 to 3 peelers in your drawer because they're very inexpensive. Now, we've got our potatoes peeled. Gotta get these peels and put them aside. If you were boiling mashed potatoes back in the day, you would chop them up pretty small so they would cook faster. You don't have to do this with the Instant Pot. Big chunks and they cook super fast. Now today I am using 5 pounds of potatoes. We peeled the entire 5-pound bag that you can buy, and our recipe says anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds. But my number one tip for saving money and time, go ahead and do all 5 pounds. And the reason is that mashed potatoes are very easy to reuse leftover. So we actually have several recipes that this is great for. Like we have leftover mashed potato cakes, like pancakes, they're delicious. And then also like if you're gonna make a shepherd's pie or something that needs mashed potatoes on top, a lot of people tend to go and they'll do the instant ones. No, save your leftovers and then you can actually use those in that recipe and make it even better. Plus, we have another post on how to freeze mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes actually freeze really, really great. All you gotta do is reheat them. I like to add more milk and sometimes re-whip them real quick and they taste like you just made them that day, which is a great tip for holidays, by the way. Okay, so let's get back to it. No more chit chat. Well, no, I lied. I like to chit chat. Okay, so what we have here is when you're doing the traditional potato recipe, you're usually going to chop them up pretty small because you want them to cook fast. You don't have to do that with the Instant Pot. I'm just going to cut each potato in half and then cut that half into half. So every potato is just getting cut into 4 pieces. Super simple. We're throwing that right into the Instant Pot. Now we just had to add 1 cup of water and then the lid. Now when you add the lid, you always start on the left side and then it locks where that little line is right on top. Then we're gonna set this to high pressure. Now I never can seem to figure this out when I'm on. There we go, when I'm on a video. So we're gonna do high pressure and then we're gonna do 6 minutes and let it walk away. Make sure this top is set to sealing and we're gonna walk away and let it cook. Yes, it just takes 6 minutes. Now it's gonna take the pressure and then we're gonna let it cook for 6 minutes and then we'll do a quick release and I'll show you what that is when it's done cooking. The time is up, so now we're just going to do a release. You'll just take the lever and press it towards the venting and you'll see the pressure come out and you just walk away. It'll just take a couple minutes. And as you can tell, like the lid is locked and the lid will not come unlocked until that pressure is out. So if you've ever been scared of your Instant Pot, don't be. It has the safety features to where you won't get hurt. It's done. Now as you can see, it unlocked perfectly and you're gonna notice inside your potatoes are finished cooking. Now, there's gonna be liquid in there, just leave it in there because we only used a cup and the actual potatoes soak up a lot of the moisture. Now you can drain it if you want to, but I just leave it in there because this is the easiest recipe ever. Now, we just gonna season it to salt and pepper to taste. I just sprinkle some in there and then I do a little whoop taste at the end. Then we're gonna throw in a stick of butter. I like to throw in a stick of butter as soon as it comes out because that steam will melt it. Then it's time to mash them together. Now you could hand mash them. You can use the hand mixer like I'm using, but here's the best part. This is a stainless steel insert, so you can actually hand mash or mash them right in the same pot. So that's awesome for me. Now, what I'm doing first, and I don't know if you do this when you make mashed potatoes, but what I like to do is I like to mash them all up with no liquid. So we are going to add milk, but we want all the potatoes to get nice and crumbly before we add the liquid. I don't know why, but that's what I do. I've always done it. I don't know if someone taught me that, but I feel like it helps you get less lumps in your mashed potatoes. Now, if you want chunky mashed potatoes, then don't do that. So now we're gonna add a cup of milk, but don't add it all at once. We just do a little bit at a time because remember, when you're making mashed potatoes, if you want yours chunkier, you're not gonna wanna add as much milk. And it's always easier to add milk, but you can't take it away. And nobody wants runny mashed potatoes. Okay, I ended up using the whole milk. Now we did do the 5 pounds. Have to do a taste test. And I probably would add a little bit more milk. So here's a tip. If you're gonna serve these right away, make them to the exact consistency that you want to serve them at. So these are nice and thick and fluffy. If you're going to let them sit for, let's say, 20 minutes while something else is finishing on dinner, or you're taking it for Thanksgiving or Christmas or just a gathering, or people are coming over and it's gonna sit for a while, make it a little bit runnier than what you want because the potatoes will soak up that moisture and get drier as they sit. So actually go ahead and just let them, make them just a little bit runnier, or you're gonna have to add some milk right before you serve it. So I go ahead and opt for the runnier option. And that's how easy it is to make mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot. Tell me that wasn't easy. You will never go back to boiling on the stovetop and draining the boiling water because this is the only way to make mashed potatoes. Well, I really like our crockpot version too, so if you haven't done our crockpot mashed potatoes, you gotta try those too. But it's so simple, so quick, and look, I made 5 pounds in here faster than I could have made it any other way. So simple. Oh my goodness. I hope you can see the steam.
Should I eat this whole bowl by myself? Oh, see, that's so good. Don't worry, I'm putting it back in there, but it's my serving. Now, that's how easy it is to make homemade mashed potatoes. Make sure you grab the full recipe. We have all the information plus leftover ideas linked in the description below. I also wanted to let you know, if you love today's recipe, like and subscribe. I don't want you to miss any more of our family-friendly recipes. We've got some good ones coming up that I think you're gonna love. Now, if you do nothing this week, at least make a big pot of homemade mashed potatoes, because you will be the queen or king of your kitchen, because you're actually making real homemade mashed potatoes. But what they don't know is that it took hardly any work. Thanks so much for joining me. I can't stop eating this. And I will see you next time in my kitchen. Bye, friends.